Okay, another match in the first round. This time we have Jess and Morgan. Jess is a new blue belt, and Morgan was actually in my bubble, so I know her game pretty well. Jess pulls guard, a nice foot on the hip. She's got the collar sleeve happening here. She starts to pull Morgan forward and snaps on the triangle. That was a really nice setup for the attack. So let's look again. She has the foot on the hip. And now notice how Morgan is pushing, or sorry, Jess is pushing Morgan's left shoulder behind her other shoulder. And that's going to create the opportunity for the triangle. Morgan should take a pants grip with her left hand and look to stuff that leg between the legs. But Jess snapped that triangle on really quickly. That was a really nice setup here. And now Morgan should try to sit back here, from here, cross the ankles over Jess's waist and escape. But Jess switches for the arm lock. Not the time to switch for the arm lock. She should be pulling down on the head, walking her shoulders back, and locking up the triangle. She really could have finished this match in the opening seconds. But Morgan defended that well here. Jess traded to the arm lock. Morgan instead went for the pass here. And she ends up in side control. Actually, this is more north-south. And now she has a really good pinning position here. And notice how Jess is bridging. It's super hard to bridge someone off of you when you're in north-south. And it's just like you're making the person on bottom do reps. Every time Jess does a bridge, just think of it as a rep of her trying to push Morgan's weight off of her. And that gets tiring, you know, after a while. So really, you got to look for opportunities to try to kind of fit in openings. And right now, Jess should be trying to push off Morgan's hips. Yeah, and try to turn her knees in towards the facer. Morgan did a nice counter there, circling away from the legs. Jess is still trying to get inside, but she should be trying to force a normal side control to get out of this north-south. Try to post on the hips and swing those legs back and forth. North-south is a very tricky position to escape. She tried to maybe go to turtle there, but see how Morgan has her head right by Jess's hip? And then Morgan's hip is right by Jess's shoulder. That's going to really prevent Jess's escapes from this position. So this is good control by Morgan. She's not like being too aggressive. She could have tried to step to mount or try to really open up to try to get the finish, but that's not what she's doing. She's just holding Jess, making her wear herself out. This is good strategy. And Jess is hanging tough, because I've seen a lot of people in these situations just break, basically. Like as soon as they get side control pass in the start of the match, you can just see them, they just totally mentally quit and just look for a way out. And that's not what's happening at all here. Jess is determined to escape. And remember, from a points perspective, Morgan is up 3-0. Not an insurmountable lead, but the issue here for Jess is that she has to get back to a guard first before she can start to execute sweeps, back takes, things of that nature. But you really can't get any scoring potential when you're pinned down inside control or north-south. So step one is to get back to a guard, which she's trying to do. But Morgan's still doing a good job covering up the hips. She's in a situation where she doesn't have to rush. She's up on points. She's in a good position. Now she's looking to grab the pant leg. She should push those knees down and then try to step over. She goes back to north-south instead. Jess is still trying to bridge. And now Morgan settles into regular side control. Now she's got the pants again. Pulling the knee towards her. She should get the other knee, but she still steps over. Now she should bring her knees high. Jess tried to trap the foot. That was nice, but she missed. So that was kind of cool. Watch, Morgan steps over, takes the full mount, and Jess immediately tried to trap Morgan's right foot, but Morgan just moves it just in the nick of time here. I don't even know if she did that on purpose or knew that it was coming, but it was just kind of an instinctual thing to bring her knees up. And now here, looks like she has a gift wrap. She could go for the back or take the arm lock. Here, I'd probably be going arm lock. Okay, she stepped off. Now it looks like she's in Jess's half guard. Half guard is a great sweeping position, and I really like what Jess is doing with her right elbow there. She's posting it back far enough that Morgan really has to reach to try to pull her elbow out, and she gets her legs free there. But it's like the sign of a good half guard player. When you get on your elbow, you're able to be much more mobile, and then the good response by Morgan there is to immediately address it and try to pull the sleeve. I wish I could see from the other angle how she kind of untangled her legs, but Jess did the right thing with the upper body, but it seemed like Morgan was able to get her leg free. And now she's back north-south. She circles back to north-south. It's interesting how like you kind of see similar like patterns repeat themselves in matches sometimes. So now Morgan's side control again. She's facing the legs. Very tough to deal with if you're bottom side. Remember how I was kind of mentioning those bridges are reps now. Like, Jess is obviously more tired than at this point in the match than at the start. And this is when techniques, it really becomes everything, because like you're too tired to push someone off of you. You're too tired to explode and go crazy, right? Morgan goes back to mount. That'd be 4 more points for the mount. And now Jess should try to kick both her legs straight so she can kind of break through those feet and try to trap a leg. Big bridge. Nice. She takes her over with the bridge. But the unfortunate thing for that is that that's not a scoring move, because you don't get points for reversals from bad positions. You get points for sweeps from guard. So from here, we're probably going to see Jess look to stand up. Let's see what Morgan's guard structure is here. She goes shallow lasso with the left foot. Her other foot's under the butt. Boom. It's the tomahawk sweep. Now, the shallow lasso, what she does with the left foot, is really good. It puts like a limit on how far Jess can pass to her right side. I don't like the deep lasso. I feel like it traps my leg. But this is really good because it kind of stops her. She can't go to the right anymore to try to pass. And when she stops, Morgan grabs the other foot, hits that sweep, and comes up. And Jess's last chance would just be to try to kind of scramble away and get back to the feet. But Morgan did a good job of keeping the pressure on, trying to move to the side and forcing Jess to play guard. So she would get sweep points for that. And now Jess had some success with that collar sleeve early on in the match. Let's see if she can repeat that same story. But it looks like she doesn't have the same guard structure as she did last time, because she had that foot on the shoulder, which is really good. But now she's more of like a knee shield. Half. Now she's back more to open guard. And now Morgan knows what's coming, right? So she already got stuck in that triangle the first time. I'm sure she's probably thinking, like, not again, right? So she should be looking to break that collar grip. Jess has a pretty good guard structure happening here. Foot on the hip. Hand in that cross collar. She should maybe go like deep De La Hiva. Try to control Morgan's ankle with her left hand. She has her base broken, but Morgan's trying to step back here. And really, Jess is pretty much in the situation where she has to probably get a submission unless she's able to really rack up quite a few points with, say, like a sweep to mount and then a back take or something. And that's it. Another classic blue belt match. Great job by both these ladies. Awesome display of jiu-jitsu.